sorry. Up until this point, Victorinox, every single Victorinox blade I have owned, other than this, has been absolutely flawless. Have had no issues with anything. This guy, sorry. I wish I could stay on the bandwagon, but yeah, got it wrong. You got it wrong, or this is clearly a false advertising front. Look, it's a sharp knife, but if you can't tackle a coconut without damaging the blade, you shouldn't be in the bushcraft category. We potentially could be talking about a glorified kitchen knife here. Very expensive. In Australia, about 160 bucks. This is not your next bushcraft knife. It's not. Hey folks, we've got my verdict on the Victorinox Venture. We are nearly 6 months, we're just shy of 6 months of me having owned this, and I have some concerns. Some people already online very early on had flagged similar situations, and I thought, nah, they're being rough, or they're being brutal with it. I don't plan on using this anywhere outside the campsite area. So my verdict was that this would have been not the perfect bushcraft knife, but the perfect camp knife. All tasks you would need around the campsite, which to some degree might have involved some wood work, but not batoning. There was no hitting of this with a baton. I've seen some of the videos that is it Phoenix? Ilmna? I'm gonna say his name wrong. The guy who partly responsible for this. It's a beautiful knife, I have to say. Beautiful knife. But there's also some very, very weird problems about it. So, you know, I'm not taking this knife outside of my routine for now. Look, first point, for what it is, very expensive, very expensive. In Australia, about 160 bucks. I don't know. We potentially could be talking about a glorified kitchen knife here. I'm on the borderline fence of mostly steering towards that this is nothing but a thicker spined kitchen knife with a square beveled edge at the top with a shorter blade. Anyway, so let's go through and some of the stuff. So I've already mentioned price. Price, just a bit too steep. Bit too steep for what this is. And you can hear it, listen. I've got the mic here, so. Sheath, sorry, absolute rubbish. I'm not a fan of the Mora sheaths, but the Mora do a much better job than this. Jesus, it's not even comparable. All for calling this, I don't know, so you can kind of cover this piece up here and a bellows to blow into the fire. Yeah, I've also seen videos where they do that with some of the Moras. I don't know. That for me is maybe a little bit short anyway for that sort of thing, but I don't know. Clearly rattles. This elastic here, it does move around, look. Wow. Depending on how you stick it in, like in your bag, there's a bit going on here. Don't know. Rubbish. That's my verdict on that. All right. I have been looking at potentially getting a what are they called? I don't own anything with them. I'll think of the name and I'll put it up on screen. I've been thinking of getting one of those sheaths. I've seen one place online. I don't know. It might have been that the price might have been, again, steep. So for the meantime, it is what it is, all right? There's no love there. There's no love for this, all right? Now, the part here, and this might be the hardest part to see, but I have got a wave, I believe that's what we call it. Let's see how close we can get in. I don't know if this is going to be in focus. I don't know. I hadn't even kept this outside of the kitchen. So what had happened was that I damaged that using cutting open a coconut, the top of a coconut. You buy the coconuts that are, you know, the husk on the outside. It had been dehusked, so you've got the white, those white fibers on, you know, it's kind of moist as well. But you kind of got to give them some cracks with your hand. And in the past, all I've used the shitty knives that we've got in the kitchen, right? Well, one coconut versus the Venture, and the Venture has, I don't know if this is permanent or not. Yeah, I have then discovered something else once I've tried to, like, okay, maybe I can kind of strop this out with a bit of, okay, well, if it's that soft, maybe I can kind of force this out with, you know, the edge of a cutting board or something like that, really, almost stropping it. And I discovered something doing that started to make me think that this might be like a glorified kitchen knife. Are we talking about the same thing here? Maybe. We don't have square spine here. We've obviously got a thinner blade, but the cutting part, the cutting component, I don't know, man. These are pretty close. I never would have thought it. I never would have attempted to cut this with to cut a coconut with this, but why not? This is a Bushcraft knife. I wasn't batoning with it. Anyway, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the lens. We'll swap this around and I'll see if I can really get in and show you how thin the blade is near the cutting edge. I don't know, is that what the problem is? I don't know if that's what the problem is. I don't know, I don't even know if these are made out of the same steel. Steels, that's not my thing. Other channels do that, that's not me. Let me swap the camera around. We'll get another angle and let's see if I can give you guys some more information. If you're gonna go out and buy it, know what you're getting yourself into, because this guy might do the job of this guy, whereas in this case, I probably could have bought 4 of these to 1 of these, right? That's almost the difference of what we're talking about here. Let's have a look. All right. See right in there, right there. That's the that's this wave I'm talking about. That nick happened during cutting of a coconut. Let's see if I can sharpen the focus a little bit more. Yeah. All right. So right now I'm going to try this using the blade of the chef's knife, and I'm just trying to show you something. Hopefully this will be visible. I'm kind of doing the equivalence of a strop here. Can you see that blade slightly flexing? Can you see that? I can see it, but I can't see it on the back of the camera. This is like the equivalent of a very forceful strop. So I don't know if you could see that or not. That zoomed in. I could definitely see it. Look, it's a sharp knife. But if you can't tackle a coconut without damaging the blade, you shouldn't be in the bushcraft category. Now, I've started calling it, I was calling it a camp knife. I've seen people online calling it a camp knife as well. Victorinox is calling this a bushcraft. Sorry, no go. This is not a bushcraft knife. If you want a bushcraft knife, Mora Companion. Hands down. They're not in the same league, not at all. Mora, mate, shot it out of the park. Victorinox, beautiful blade, it's beautiful. I don't know, is it a heat treatment thing? I don't reckon it is. I reckon you guys know enough about making your blades. I think that this is a poor or deceptive marketing. It's nothing but that. How can we call this? How can you call this for bushcraft when you can't cut up in a coconut by hitting it? It's like, and you can't say that a blade is for bushcraft. I don't know. Personally, the Victorinox Chef series, I think that it's the same thing. You know what? These, to me, they're in the same league. They're in the same league. And unfortunately, as much as I had hoped that for camp there would be one blade that I would be using, in the past I have. I've got a Tramontana, it's a Bowie knife that I owned for 20 years. My tip is, if you had it at half the price of this, you know what, I would say yeah. But at 160 Australian dollars, nah mate, you guys have got this wrong. You guys have got this completely wrong. I'm gonna buy 4 of these. Chefs. I look at what I'm looking at. There's obviously different aesthetics, I get it, full tang, whatever, right? You're not selling it, you're not selling it. Why do I need full tang when this can't handle this little thing? Yeah, I can bring a wrench with me, I can bring sorry. Up until this point, Victorinox, every single Victorinox blade I have owned, other than this, has been absolutely flawless. Have had no issues with anything. This guy, sorry. I wish I could stay on the bandwagon, but yeah, I got it wrong. And you know what, let's see if people are dumb enough. In my case, yeah, I was dumb enough, but through videos like this, and there are others that have been doing the same thing, mate, this ain't it. You want to call this something else, and you want to either fix it or, because this is not bushcraft. Sorry, but no, not bushcraft. As far as I'm concerned, a bushcraft knife looks like this. Mora Companion. Victorinox, bushcraft, no, sorry. Camp knife, the Mora, no. Camp knife, better, but overpriced, and I think that I don't know, you want to be babying your knives, knowing that there's going to be issues. Do you want to be babying your knives? Personally, no. I want to have the confidence of having you want to pay 160 bucks. Look, this costs more. This costs more than what I paid for my Gerber strong arm. My Gerber strong arm, I would have no hesitations of its capability and my trust in the steel and the blade and all of that. This costs more, and I do not have that confidence. That confidence is not here. So, I don't know if you're gonna make a version 2, but I think that this, you guys have either got it wrong or you're trying to mislead us, because this is not what it's advertised at. No way. So, I hope that clears things up. I get it, it's my opinion, but based on some of the others too, if you're looking around, watch this, take this as a grain of salt if you want. Watch the other videos, all right? This is not your next bushcraft knife. It's not. If you've got any brains about you and you're watching a video, this is not it, right? You might find some other purpose for it. It's a beautiful knife, yes, but having known what I know now, would I have paid 160 bucks for this? Not a chance. So I think that I'm still in search for something that has the capability, and I think that it's going to be in the Moore & Knife collection. So at the moment, I'm still looking for the perfect camp knife, right? At this point, my 20-year-old Tramontana is still a better winner. It does a better job. The knife is definitely not perfect, but it's got a much bigger blade. It's camp-wise, it's a better job. So soon enough, I'm going to be purchasing a, I think it's the Cansbull, or is it the Garberg? It's not the Garberg, it's a Cansbull. The Moore Cansbull will be one of the next ones that I purchase, and obviously I'll play around with that before, because it does have, although it's got a Scandi grind and stuff, it's also got a, I don't know what they're calling it, they're calling it like a swedge or something at the tip for food prep. Food prep is big on the camp front area. So if it can handle that, then, you know, that might do it. Otherwise, it might just be this and a small, you know, look, at the moment it's these two, right? But I don't have the confidence in the Venture that I had when I first got it. Like I said, it's beautiful, but it does not do what I want it to do. And this time around, not my fault, right? This is clearly a false advertising front. The Moore, the Companion, I was complaining about some stuff that I selected wrong. Let's eliminate that and just get one very sturdy survival knife, which was the strong arm, you know. And I've had my issues with that too, where I've, you know, watched my video. I've got a video about this, about the sources of where you buy your stuff. Could mean you're getting a counterfeit / fraudulent blade, which was what happened with me. Yes, bushcrafty, check, and camp. I thought that this was it, but, and look, this will be for the meantime, right? But it ain't perfect. It ain't perfect, and it ain't doing what it's been advertised to do. All right, this is why we're creating the video.